Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So yesterday we had the unfortunate news break that the New York Jets and safety Marcus Maye were not going to be closing in on the extension that we all kind of expected to get done at some point. Obviously the deadline was quickly approaching, but according to Ian Rapoport himself, it's looking like it's not going to get done. Very, very weird. Rapoport actually went into a lot of detail when initially reporting this. I mean, this was brought up a lot in yesterday's Marcus Maye video, specifically by FX Gold. He had a great take, but just the way it was worded, it just seemed a little odd, almost like it was Marcus Maye's camp tweeting this out, like the way relentlessly was in quotations. I don't know, it just seemed a little bit fishy, but this is my take about Marcus Maye and the New York Jets. Obviously, I was disappointed to get that news yesterday. I'm a big Marcus Maye fan. I know a lot of Jets fans like Marcus. He bleeds green. He was a second-round pick back in 2017, and I think he lived up to being that second-round pick. We know this as Jets fans. There has not been a lot of successful second-round picks that this team has made in recent memory. Just a lot of guys that didn't work out. Devin Smith, Hackenberg, Jason Marr. I could go down the list. I could sit here all day and do that. But when I'm looking at Marcus Maye, I think this is what gets me so worked up. This is what's so frustrating about the situation. And this is probably on Marcus Maye's mind as well. We're looking at the 2020 year. All right, Marcus Maye at some point was going to have these extension talks come up. In 2020, the year where the Jets put so much on his plate, so much responsibility, the team asked him to do so much. No more Jamal Adams. CJ Mosley opted out. So all of a sudden, Marcus Maye was being thrusted in as the guy that everybody has to turn to on the defensive side of the football, okay? Seeking for answers. Marcus Maye was the defensive veteran leader, and it's not like this guy's been around for 10, 12 years. So what happens? What does Marcus Maye do? He takes those responsibilities and has the best season of his career, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. He had career numbers in passes defended against, sacks, solo tackles, combined tackles, forced fumbles, tackles for loss, and he had 2 interceptions. On top of all of those awesome things, he also played 2 positions, free safety and strong safety, showing off his versatility. So that's what gets me irritated, is because it's like Marcus Maye stepped up to the plate, right? Down 2 on, 2 outs, bottom of the 9th. Marcus Maye stepped up to the plate and hit an absolute bomb. He delivered. And now it's like, and according to these tweets, and who knows who put what out, but if the Jets really did offer Marcus Maye around 20% below the tag amount for 2021, I can understand Maye's frustration. I can understand how that looks across the league. I can understand how it irritates fans, because from Maye's perspective, it's like, what more do you want me to do? I came up, I accepted all your challenges, I did everything that was asked of me and more. I excelled, I had the best season of my career, and now I'm being rewarded with this slap in the face lowball offer. I understand the frustration for sure, and it reminds me a lot of Robby Anderson. Anderson was a guy who, quite frankly, fans fell in love with and expected to be here for the long haul. His story was amazing. Undrafted free agent, comes to the New York Jets, rises all the way to the top to being the team's #1 wide receiver at such a young age. Insane speed, tons of production, like homegrown talent. Of course, Robby Anderson's going to be here for the foreseeable future, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen, and everybody's kind of scratching their heads like, why are we letting Robby Anderson walk? We need wide receivers. What's happening here? And granted, the whole Gase thing and not pushing the ball down the field, we just don't throw the football deep and stuff. But Robby Anderson was a valuable piece. This guy goes to Carolina and looks awesome, just continues his rise as being one of the better wide receivers in the league, while the New York Jets have a laughably bad offense. The wide receiver position is god awful. It's like, what happened? Why did we let and it's not like we were like pressed for money either. So I just don't want to see a similar situation where the team lets Marcus Maye walk. He goes on and signs with another team and continues to be an above average productive safety, where all of a sudden the Jets defense now has a huge issue at the safety position because, again, no more Jamal Adams. So all of a sudden we have to figure this position out, and we're just getting burned over the top, and there's no safety help, and it's just issue after issue after issue. And Marcus Maye is doing his thing with Cleveland or whoever it may be. So that would obviously be worst case scenario. I will say this though. Is Marcus Maye asking for a lot of money? Like how much, because the details were not released. If Marcus Maye is asking for $20 million a season, I completely understand it from Joe Douglas's perspective. We're not doing that. We're not going to be, if these numbers start getting astronomically high, then obviously an extension needs to be put on hold. But I feel like at the same time, there has to be a little bit of self-awareness from Maye's camp to say, this is not going to happen. If this team has been reluctant to pay players in the past, I don't want to walk into the, meeting room and ask for a city, ask for the moon, because I'm just going to get shot down immediately. So I think at the end of the day, and by the way, it's not like the Jets can't sign Marcus Maye to that extension, because we still have a little bit of time left. It's not that we haven't hit that deadline right now as far as like the time that I'm filming this video, but I like Marcus Maye and I want to bring him back. If he's asking for 20 mil, some insane number, then okay, I understand it. But again, I really don't feel like that's the case here. But at the same time, I don't really know what's going on. I'm not, flying the wall in those meeting rooms and those contract discussions, contract negotiations, as much as I wish I was. But I'll end the video on this. All right, I'll try to throw some optimism in here. Let's just hypothetically say at the end of the year, we lose Maye. He goes on, he signs another team, we let him walk for nothing, we don't bring him back. We now have a hole at the safety position. 2 guys to look at in the draft. Kyle Hamilton, Notre Dame, absolute beast. Daxton Hill, safety from Michigan. 2 guys that I feel like would be awesome pros, 2 awesome Jets. I'll try to find some of their highlights and leave them linked down below in the description box. But yeah, that's just me trying to prepare for the hypothetical Maye leaving scenario here. But anyway, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Do you think this is reminiscent of the Robby Anderson dilemma, the Robby Anderson situation that we had not too long ago? For me, it's kind of reopening reopening those scars for sure. So, man, I just can't wrap my head around it. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, go Jets.